Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my second Disney Mirrorverse video today, and I wanted to do quite an important one. I wanted to do probably the most lucrative game mode and do a deep dive into it. So this is going to be Dungeons, right? So if you don't know, Dungeons is one of the big game modes in this game. You get to play these twice a week. You have one dungeon in the first half of the week, which has easier milestones, and then you have another one in the second half of the week which has better milestones. So we're actually in the one in the second half of the week, and it's this support skirmish one. So the way dungeon works is you're basically going to go into an unexplored map which has a number of like different artifacts in it. In fact, if I click how to play, you're going to go into a number of unexplored maps with different artifacts. You're going to need to collect these artifacts, and on the way you can get these boxes of chests of chance. There's 5 floors to each dungeon, and then on the 5th floor you're going to fight a boss, okay? And then you're going to get these multipliers. So the first dungeon you're going to do, you're going to start off with a low multiplier, and this is why I would take a different strategy with this first dungeon. My goal is to kind of race through the first dungeon I do, because I know the points that I'm going to get from it are going to be less than the following dungeons that I'm going to do. So yeah, so that's a little bit of a short explanation, and you're going to have you're going to effectively have energy to go through each dungeon. You're going to start every new dungeon with 80 energy, as you can see at the top here. You can buy more energy from this dungeon store with these various bundles, right? So if I click on this one, you can buy this bundle for 25 orbs, and it gives you 10 energy and 5 potions and a bit of gold. And you can go all the way up to tier 6 bundle. Now if you're a spender, you might want to get these. I will get these in this video to show you how much it will help me. There is a leaderboard for dungeons, so if I click that, there's a good friend Kosh at the top, who's absolutely a monster at dungeon, by the way. But yeah, there's a leaderboard, and if you come top in this leaderboard, you get some prizes. So and there's these event rewards here. So if you actually rank at the top, you're gonna get these shards here, which are super valuable. So it is quite lucrative if you can come first in dungeon, but ranking top 15% is also very good, and that's kind of what I want to help you guys get to from this tutorial, really. Alright, so each dungeon has different bonus guardians, so you can see them here. You can see Anna, and Anna's grayed out for me because I don't have her. I tried unlocking her yesterday. I spent a couple of orbs on fame packs and got Frank every time for some reason, but anyway, I tried unlocking Anna. I didn't get lucky, and you've got Hook, Mulan and Stitch. So I think a couple of these guys are blade wielder guardians, which ties in with the Hercules event. So it's not a bad idea to level these. You're gonna need one of these to enter the Hercules event. So taking one of these, first 3 up isn't a bad idea. I wanted it to be Anna, but unfortunately, I'm just stuck with Hook and Mulan, so I've chosen Mulan. But in any case, these are a bonus toon at the start, and what's going to happen with that is it's going to give you a multiplier on your rewards. So if we just go in new run, and if I take away, if I put Mulan in, you can see she drops my team power down a little bit. Scar was using the last dungeon, but now I've got the points multiplier at the bottom. You see it says 2x. If I just put in Gaston, it's 1x, right? So in my opinion, it's always better to do this, so to level up one of these guardians a little bit, so you can at least use them and get more points from your dungeon. There are some other conditions. So this is the bonus condition, obviously, but you also get these other team restrictions, which I'll just hide my face again. You can't have Belle, you can't have Frank Wolf, you can't have Scrooge McDuck, and you need one support, which is great because I always run Mickey. And I really like Maui in dungeons just because he gives so much shield to the rest of the team. So these are the 2 that I'm going to be taking to support Mulan. So whilst Mulan runs in and probably dies, these guys are at least going to heal her and give her armor. So let's jump into the dungeon. So each dungeon has difficulty modifiers, right? So, and it's my opinion that you can see the recommended power here for this dungeon for Expert 1 is 6,500. My team power is 5,300. Now, I'm not going to do this expert on Expert 1 the first time, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because this first dungeon, I'm going to race through it. I just want to complete it. I don't want to come across any difficulties with it, so I'm going to drop it down to hard level 4, and eventually I'm going to increase it back to Expert 1 as I sort of progress. The next dungeon I'll probably increase it to Expert 1. There is so much to be said about punching up in dungeon, because the reward, like the points you see here between hard level 4 and Expert 1, it's kind of incomparable, really. You're just so much better doing it at Expert 1 and trying your hand at a harder dungeon. Obviously, I have the supporting cast to be able to do this, and you can also see the possible loot boxes as well. It's just a lot better at Expert 1. But anyway, let's do the hard one first so I can just race through it. I'm going to enter this dungeon. Right, couple things to notice first. You can see there's a bar on the right hand side, and this is your dungeon meter, right? So every time you take a new footstep, this dungeon meter will increase, and once it gets to the top, you're going to have to fight a battle. So you really kind of want to avoid these as much as possible. But as I say, I'm doing hard, so I'm not really bothered by fighting these characters at this stage. So I have a choice here. Like normally, it's kind of obvious which way you'd want to go, but here this is literally a 50-50, so I'm going to take the right. And now you can see I've got my first artifact, which is amazing. I'm going to take that. I've got the second artifact, which is also great, and I'm probably just going to try get out of this dungeon now. You can see there is a chest of chance, which I will take first. Actually, I'll take both. So I've got some minor motes. This is also why I really like dungeon, because you can get some really awesome loot. Now that was not ideal, guys. Okay, that's okay. Chest of the teleport can take you anywhere, and sometimes it can take you to the really annoying spots in the map. Anyway, let's hope I don't get another one. 5 energy, that's great. The chest of chance is basically like a loot box, which gives you different like rewards, or actually can give you some kind of annoying things. Like, as I say, teleport can be a little bit annoying if it doesn't take you somewhere nice like an artifact, or it can or you can get an attract enemies loot box, which sucks. It'll just basically increase that meter to the top. Now you'll see that the dungeon meter is really near the top. If I walk back on myself, it will increase a little bit less. So I hope to get to the dungeon exit before this meter is going to get to the top. And you'll see, hopefully, when I get to the next dungeon, that this will kind of fall back down again. And it's important to note that when you backtrack on your footsteps, number one, it doesn't cost energy. Like, you might not be able to see, but you see 76, it says I've used 4 energy so far. It didn't actually decrease from where I was positioned before. And yeah, I've avoided a battle on this. So I'm gonna go to the next level, and here you go. I've got my multiplier, I've got my points, and I've got 2 artifacts. There was probably only 2 artifacts on the floor, but you never know. So anyway, so I've got 2 options here. I'm going to go to the one at the top. Now, I always choose a pass which has multiple directions, because it can actually like highlight and clear up some of like more of the map. So I think I got a buff there. You're going to get buffs from these boxes as well, and these buffs will appear at the top left hand corner, where by that 2, and these are the buffs, and they last for 3 encounters, right? So I'm gonna get this immune to freeze buff for 3 battles in this. And then you can also see that there's a floor effect, so enemy special abilities deal additional 50% damage. So right, I'm gonna go back and get that. There's nothing there. Which way do I want to go? So obviously choices here, but I'm going to go there. That was lucky, and now I'm going to have to fight. Let's just do it. Right, so this will be my first fight. My team power is very good for this, but my Mulan is a lot weaker than the other two, so I'm going to be controlling her. I'm going to show you this fight, and hopefully it's quick. And then we're going to skip all the other fights because you don't need to see them. I might show you the boss fight. In fact, let's remove my face again. This is my first time using Mulan, so it's important to use Mickey's special after their specials because it will possibly decrease their cooldown. And you can see how Maui just gives so many buffs out because when the enemies get buffed, Maui gets defense buffs, and he can give out armor based on these defense buffs. So alright, and there you go. Easy battle, number 1. Right, I'm just going to take this route. That was fortunate as well. Doesn't matter either way I go. Okay, so I've got 3 of the boxes so far. Take that chest of chance. Another 5 energy, that's lucky. Oh my god. Okay, that can happen. I hate it when that happens. It could have been unavoidable, but you know, sometimes you just got to deal with it. But basically, that's using a lot of energy. Right, next floor. At least I got all the artifacts. Another one of these, we can choose a direction, so I'm going to go left this time. That's lucky. Teleportation, not my favourite, but in this case it was useful. And I'm at the exit. Now, normally I'd go back for that box, but to be honest, I just want to get through it at this point. So, as I say, the first dungeon, I just want to get through it. I got 2 artifacts anyway, and that was enough for me. Right, so obviously 3 directions here, but I'm going to go one which splits both ways because now I can cover more of the map. Another one, so I'm going to go with one that splits both ways. I'm going to go with the one that splits 3 ways. Backtrack. That one, right, so take the blue first. Gonna have another fight. Don't worry, I'll skip this. Okay guys, so in that last fight I actually deliberately took damage because I wanted to show you how to use like potions to heal yourself back up. So if you look at Mulan, you'll see that she's like lost a little bit of health, and so has Maui. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heal them up, and if you click on this, what is it, like a little bag in the bottom right hand corner, then you can bring up all of these things, and these you've got varying different types of potions. I'm going to use a T1 on, maybe 2 on Mulan, because she's a new character, she's not much health. So I'm going to use 2 of these to heal her back up. Then with Maui, I'm going to use like a T2, because he has a lot more health, and heal him back up. And bearing in mind, by using these potions, it's actually a good thing you help your club, because I'll flip to the club stuff in a bit. But effectively, you're going to help your club by using those potions up. Let me move forward a bit. Okay, I have an option here. I'm going to take both chests. I've got another buff here, so that's good. I'll take this chest. Okay, so you can see in the bottom hand corner, I've got this little bit uncovered. Now, I am fairly sure there's going to be nothing there. I'm not going to uncover it. I wouldn't do that in a normal dungeon anyway, so I'm just going to move on. I'm going to take this route at the top. Okay, that wasn't ideal. Right, I'm going to take this box here because I'll uncover these two below. And this is a big map, by the way. So when the maps are bigger, I normally know that there's going to be like, if it's like a big map like this, might be like 3 to 5 artifacts in it. So I'll be looking for, I can't remember if I took a blue one already, but and this is where I would backtrack as well. So you see, I am, I've got all this unexplored area here. If I want to kind of come back to it, I'll obviously take my footsteps back and backtrack, but I'm just gonna keep going. Teleportation. I don't mind teleports in these bigger maps, unless it does that. Come on. I have two options now, so I can go back up to where I was before, or I can kind of continue on the path I was when I was over here, and I will just kind of backtrack and explore this bit. Fortunately, that worked out. Now, I'm fairly sure I've got to go up to the top. And there's the big one, well, there's the blue one that I need. And unfortunately I got another fight, so I'll just skip ahead. Okay, now that fight's done, I've got the exit here, so I'm just gonna take it and go to the next floor. So I've got 4 artifacts on that run, decent run. I will say this is an expensive dungeon. This is not ideal for my first to show you, but anyway, I'm going to take that artifact. There. Could do with some energy actually. Buff, it's not too bad. Now, I'm going to show you some things that I haven't used yet. So, I do have these other bits of inventory. Now, you've got dowsing wands, which, basically this jumps you to an artifact in the game. Now, these are pretty good, but because this is my first dungeon run and the points are less, I'm not going to use any of these. And then the magical map is just basically clears the whole map, and it sorry, you can't see that there. It just clears all the fog on the map, so you can kind of see exactly which route you need to take. These are quite valuable, so again, I'm not going to use it on this floor. And then you've got these invisibility scrolls. I will use one of these now actually, just to show you how they work. But T2s come from the dungeon store when you buy the boxes, and T1s I think you can get without having to go through the dungeon store. So I'm going to use a T1 and just kind of show you how it works. So use that, and basically what you're going to see now is the dungeon meter has effectively gone this like bluey kind of crystal. So it's not actually going to increase anymore. You're effectively going to get 4 steps where it doesn't charge this dungeon meter. So I'm going to take this direction. There's another artifact. Now I'm gonna just chance it and go south. Right, got lucky. So guys, this is the final boss battle. I'm gonna take it now. It's been a very expensive dungeon, I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to go through these dungeons with using a lot less energy, but this one just didn't work out. I probably made some mistakes, but hopefully you guys have got a kind of an understanding of how this works. I'll show snippets of the boss battle, but I'm gonna effectively do it now. So I'm going to be up against Ian, and these are the buffs for the floor. So I've got all of these chest buffs here, which I'm going to use. Then you've got these floor buffs. Now, there's a couple of floor buffs you need to watch out for. One is heavy weights, and the other is empowered and fractured. Heavy weights for me is the worst because it basically means you can't slide and you just have to run around a little bit. But these effects aren't too bad. And then, yeah, enemies heal a bit, 50% stronger. Anyway, let's jump in. Now, the boss battles are actually slightly harder than regular battles throughout the dungeon, and you're obviously having to deal with these pretty horrible floor effects. So the reason I'm controlling Mulan is because she is the weaker characters here, so I always like to control the one that I think is gonna die. Right, finally. He took a while to kill, but... Okay. So that's the dungeon complete. Very expensive dungeon, as I said. I don't like using that much energy, but... we shall see. Dungeon run complete. Right, so there you go, guys. So my run multiplier was 1.75. My next run bonus is about 1.9, and I earned 3,640. I got all the artifacts. It did obviously come at a cost, but you'll see now that I'm done, and I'll show you how much I've progressed in terms of the milestones. So you can see here in terms of how much I've progressed on my milestones. So I've got to milestone 7 from this one run. Now I'm going to increase it to expert 1. I'm going to show you snippets of the next dungeon because obviously this video is going on for a long time and I don't want it to drag on too much for you guys, but I'm basically going to show you the important bits, which will be map clears and stuff like that. So in the next dungeon, if I get onto like a bigger level, I'm going to use one of my maps to show you what that does. Okay guys, so that was the first dungeon. You can see I've got 28 energy left. It was an expensive dungeon. I'm not too happy with it, but for the purpose of this video and kind of explaining how it worked, I did get taken on a bit of a wild goose chase in one of those levels, and to be honest, I could have probably done smarter in terms of where I took my footsteps, but nonetheless I hope it kind of explained how to get through them. You see, I've got through 7 of the milestones because I managed to get all the artifacts, so it was a decent enough run. So the next run I'm going to do on expert 1. I'm just going to flick through to some of the levels where I want to actually show you some cool stuff like the maps and the wands, so it'll actually show you guys how they work. But just before I skip ahead, I want to show you that I'm going to be doing a new run. And I'm going to be choosing expert 1. So I'm going to move that to expert 1. So now you can see my recommended power is 6,500. I'm doing a big punch up, but I want to show you that punch ups in dungeon are lucrative and doable. The max points for this dungeon is going to be 6,383, which is it's a huge amount. It's a lot more than what I got in the last one. So it's lucrative to actually go and punch up higher. You can also see the possible loot's got better, so yeah, so I'm going to skip ahead now guys, just to show you little bits of this dungeon. Damn, right, you see I just got and I'll just move this out of the way again, move my face out of the way. You see, I got attracted enemies. Now I'm going to have to fight this battle. It just bumped my dungeon meter all the way to the top, so I'm going to have to do this battle now. Alright guys, this is going to be a bit of a waste, but I want to show you anyway because the map is quite big. So I would use, I'll sometimes use these magical maps if the map is really annoying and like quite large. So you can see there's lots of kind of different directions it's going to take me, so I'm gonna use it. Okay, so from using these magical maps, you're basically gonna choose the fastest way to the exit, but picking up all the important bits along the way. So unfortunately, this isn't the best of routes for me, no matter what I take. So I'm gonna go get this. Artifact first. You're also going to see that I'm actually going to run out of energy in a second. So, I'm going to take this. Now, I've got options here with which way I want to go. So I'm going to take this next node. I'm going to get these chests of chance along the way. Why not? Might get the lucky 10 energy I need. There we go. I was lucky. But I've got to fight again. Right, I'm gonna heal up again. I was actually trying to get Maui to die so I could show you like how the revives work, but it doesn't matter. I've got all these revives to use, and these revives give you a lot of points for your club when you use them. You do only get these revives from using orbs for these dungeon chests though. Now guys, unfortunately I've run out of dungeon energy, so I'm gonna buy some more. Go into the dungeon store, and this is where I'm gonna buy these bundles. I'm just gonna buy a bunch of them. I'm going to buy this one as well. Right. So now I've bought all of these bundles apart from this 250. I might buy this depending on how I do. It's been kind of a poor dungeon so far. So, but you see I've got 100 more energy. The other thing is, so you'll see I'm maxed on all this stuff now on these two tier 2 and tier 3s. What happens when you've maxed on your dungeon is they go into your stash. So this is where all of these potions will be. And as you use these up, you'll be able to clear some of this down. They last for, I've got these potions for 10 days and they normally last for 2 weeks each time. So that's something to bear in mind. So you see there, I just got the clear map, which is part of Chest of Chance as well. It's a very good one. Like Dungeon Energy, it's one I really want, I really look out for and, well, hope for. Oh my god, not again. Thing. Okay guys, so unfortunately Mulan is absolutely terrible. This is my first time using her, by the way, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to revive her. Anyway, I get to use one of these now, and I'll get to like use up one of my stash. So use one of those. She revives. She doesn't revive full health, so you're gonna have to heal her up again. But I've got plenty of these, so I'm gonna use. In fact, I'll just use some tier 1s. So use 3 of them. Mickey needs healing as well, because once she died, the other 2 got damaged a bit as well. So let's do 3 of them. And Maui, he is much tankier, so I'm going to give him one of the T3 potions. So there we go. And I'm going to start using my invisibility scrolls, because I don't want that to happen again. The fights are getting annoying. Mulan sucks. Excellent energy, perfect what I wanted. And because it's a big map, I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna say screw it. I'm gonna show you one of these maps again. Don't do this. This is a colossal waste of using these maps, but it just clears it all up for you. Right, so map's clear. Again, it was probably a waste to do that, but I don't mind doing it for this video. you kind of really just want to be using it on these massive maps, but you know what, it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to go get this artifact, which is just here, and then I'm going to go fight this boss and wrap up this dungeon. Whew, there we go. That was kind of scary. I lost Mulan. My summary of Mulan, never used her until today. I decided to level her up thinking, well, I couldn't do Anna. But yeah, she's bad. Oh, don't like her. Anyways, I know she's low level, but you normally get a feel for characters, so. But anyway, I've done the dungeon now, so probably about 30-40 energy use. All but one artifact and 21 chests, not too bad. Gonna do another one. I'm not gonna bother filming it because I think you get the point now. The run bonus multiplier is gonna go to 2, and yeah, that kind of sums it up for today. I think I've covered everything in dungeon apart from how to do it efficiently. I'll hopefully stream a more efficient run. I've managed to clear a full dungeon in 10 energy before, just by pure luck. That's the great thing about dungeon, is that you can get super lucky with picking up energy recharges along the way. I've got the all important this crystal, which I can just open now. The T4 gem shards are really valuable, so I'm going to go open up one of them and show you what you get from that now. And before I end the video, I do want to show you one last thing. This is a bit more of a comprehensive guide. I know this video has lasted a long time, but thank you for sticking with me. This Azurite crystal, they're very valuable. I'm going to need these later down the line, so I'm just going to open it now. And that's great. I'm nearly there with one of my with a T4 ruby. That'll go great with my aerial. And yeah, and the last thing I wanted to show you guys is alliances. There is a mission called Delve Together, okay? Now this is super lucrative for your club. There are milestones. You can see my contribution is 1926. Need to get that up. Normally need to get that up a bit more, but anyway, if you complete all these, dungeon on master, you get all these points along the side. If you get the final milestone in the dungeon event, you get an extra 500 points here. But yes, so using potions, using dungeon revives, using the wands, magical maps, invisibility scrolls, they'll all get you points towards this, and you can see your contributions here to your club. So really lucrative milestone. You definitely want to be paying attention to this, and which is why it's okay to lose characters in dungeon. It's fine to die. It's fine to wipe. If you're buying these dungeon boxes with orbs, you're going to get revived, so you're going to want to make use of them. You give 20 points for each revive, so don't feel disheartened if you lose in dungeon or get a little bit nervous. If you're playing free to play, obviously, yes, you don't want to yes, you don't want to die, but it's not the end of the world if you're buying these packs. And if you finish rank 1 like we did, you get 4,000 of these laurels, so you can spend in the laurel store, which is pretty good. So definitely pay attention to that. And I think that wraps up this incredibly intensively long video on dungeon today. If I've missed anything, please let me know in the comment section. I hope it's been a pretty useful guide to you either way. So thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, guys.